Guys, Sandy here and welcome back to my channel. Today it is Follow a Sketch Friday. So I found this sketch from the Basic Gray blog. Don't worry, I will put it up here in the corner. So I have it pinned to my Follow Sketch February board. Whoa, it's July, Sandy. It's July. I have this pin saved to my Follow a Sketch Friday board on my Pinterest page. I'll put the links down below for that. So today I am scrapbooking this one photo of the Animation Academy in Disneyland. I do have more photos, but I want this to be like the introduction to the Animation Academy pages that I will have. So let's see what I can do. Oh, P.S. I'm using my For the Love of Homemade kits. Now, let's see what I can do. All right, here we go. So, for the color scheme of this layout, now obviously I pulled everything from my homemade kit, but this definitely has more of a mature feeling to it for Disney layouts. So most of my Disney, I can't even say most, I would say about half my Disney layouts are really like fun and colorful and playful and just good fun layouts. And I feel like this one, just by the color scheme, it's still fun and it's still playful, but there's like a little level of maturity to it. And I don't mean to make that sound like it's a boring layout, because I love how the layout turns out, but it's just a little bit of a different feel, and I love it, and I absolutely love it. Now here we go with the ATG issues. Now this is the second time I'm doing this voiceover because I started ranting about adhesive and shelf life and all kinds of stuff, and at some point I was just like, okay, Sandy, you gotta stop running your mouth about this and get back to the scrapbooking. So here we go, we're doing it over again. Now this roll of adhesive was defective. It was turned somehow in the manufacturing process, and I just decided to toss it instead of rewrapping it and re-rolling it. It's not worth it to me. I do buy off-brand ATG tape in bulk, so it is really cheap per roll, less than $1. Or the last time I bought it, it was less than $1. I'm not sure what it is now because I haven't bought it in a while, because like I said, bulk purchase. But it didn't bother me that I threw that out, so I just tossed it off to the side. Now I used this black paper with words on it, and I'm pretty sure this is a Creative Memories paper. I decided to have a border of the dark blue on 3 sides instead of all the way around, and I really like the way that this looks. So I have my photo offset because, you know, the sketch is offset as well. And now I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do for the little horizontal element of the page. I know I wanted to use these stars. These are kind of like banner stars, and some of them are a shiny gold and some of them are a glittery gold. So I just knew that that was going to go across the page, and I knew that I was going to fringe, and I knew that I was going to put my my favorite scalloped border punch to good use. I just wasn't exactly sure how I was going to go. So I was just trying out the stars on top of both papers to see which one I liked the most. And then I'm just going to fringe this paper. And I am making a large fringe, and I mean that as a long fringe. Obviously, it's a 12-inch sheet of fringe. I'm not being careful, though. I'm not making sure that my fringe is the exact same anywhere, and you know, there might be times where the fringe is a little bit thicker because of the way I cut, and I'm okay with that. I don't care whatsoever. Now, this gives me a little bit of fit right here. So not only am I using this Creative Memories paper where when you put the adhesive on it and pull it off, you pull off some of the color, I'm also using this cardstock called Whirlwind treasures, and I have no idea if this is even a company anymore. But it doesn't, it peels. It peels like chipboard. And I did have a little bit of a struggle moment trying to see, you can see the adhesive like coming off, the color of the black coming off, and then it's pulling off even more black. And then the cardstock like starts to peel, and I was just having a moment. Lana was across the table from me cheering me on. We're both going, oh no, oh no, oh no, like come on, come on, come on. It worked out. It worked out fine though. So I'm using my adhesive eraser to go ahead and erase the adhesive. And then like you can see some of the Creative Memories paper ripped off the edges, and I'm just building up and re-adding the adhesive on this sucker right here. So it all turns out in the end. I cover up the bits that are kind of torn apart, which stinks that I even had to do that, but you know, it all works out in the end. So I really like this look of the scallop over top of the fringe. I just think it's a fun look. I don't think I have enough fringe in my scrapbooking life. I do love a good fringe on a layout. I just think it adds a bunch of texture and interest to a page, and it's just fun. So now I'm going to figure that, you know, I want these stars all the way across the page like this. And, you know, I thought I was going to be super smart, and I dolloped some liquid adhesive on all the edges of the stars on one side. And I thought, you know, I'll just flip it and, you know, put it down on the page and voila, super easy. No, why didn't I think these stars are on a string? They're going to twirl. They're going to twirl. But I did not think that. So it is a little bit of a struggle to get them on. Luckily, this adhesive is a matte, clear drying adhesive. See, the stars twirled, and I was like, oh, Sandy, why didn't you use that brain of yours? I tell you, sometimes for being a smart person, and I totally will admit to you I am a smart person, and I have no qualms about that. Wow, that made me feel full of myself. But anyway, sometimes, you know, smart people can do some dumb things, and this was one of those times. It worked out though. As you can see, the stars went all the way across the page. They're kind of bouncing along, and I am happy with that. Now I grabbed a sequin mix from my kit as well, and this was one of the exclusive sequins made for the Secret Not Secret Kit Club. I'm pretty sure it's the sequin mix that was meant to match Heidi Swap Wolfpack. I just really love the dark colors in here and the dark sequins. Now I went for this flat black sequin that has no hole in it, and I didn't check to make sure I had enough to span the entire page, and I did not have enough to span the entire page. But I knew from my sketch that I was going to have some sort of title element right here, so I just went with it and decided not to worry about it because I was going to cover that up. I am using my sequin dish and my crystal katana to go ahead and place those sequins down. I highly recommend, if you are a fan of sequins and you like using them on your page, to get yourself a sequin dish and a crystal katana. Any little ceramic, glassy kind of sequin dish will do, but you need a crystal katana. It has a wax tip on one side, and then it has a blunt metal tip on the other, and it works great. If you get glue on it, it wipes right off. It's not something where you have to worry about, oh, am I pulling the sticky part of the tool off, or am I pulling off glue? Like, you don't have to worry about that because it's either glue or it's wax, and it is a fun thing. Now, I was trying to figure out how to add in the star chipboard banner. It does not last on the page, you guys. It comes off. I was trying to see if I could bring in any of these little die cuts and things that I had that I pulled from my kit, and I end up using the newsprint film strip. Now I was thinking about layering it up over something else, and that does not happen. I decided to back it instead. Now, one thing that kind of bugs me with die cuts is that these guys that have these little pokey holes, like they don't come out. Like you've got to poke these out yourself, and that's such a pain in the butt. And I know that manufacturers aren't going to do that, but I mean, dang. I just don't understand why things like this happen where you've got to literally poke every single tiny little hole, and not just poke it, you've got to like pull it off, and sometimes it doesn't have a complete separation and you end up tearing the paper, or you just have this whole, it's this whole rigmarole that you have to run through to get these little pieces off. And then sometimes you get die cuts that are still popped into a sheet or chipboard, and it just falls out. It's like, why can't these crafting companies get their acts together and figure out how to either get all the pieces out or keep the pieces in? Like, and it's the opposite of what you want. Like, if I have a chipboard sheet, I want my chipboard pieces to stay in there. However, if I have die cuts with little things that are supposed to be poked out, I want those things poked out. Like, how stressful is this? Like, obviously, it's way stressful for me than probably half of you guys out there. But these are the things in my scrapbooking life that cause me stress, and you guys get to share them with me. Aren't you lucky? So here we go. I ran that die cut through my Xyron X, and I just used my Creative Memories multi-purpose tool to go ahead and kind of push down and make sure that adhesive really stuck to the die cut. I have a Creative Memories lady now, which is really awesome. Her name is Vicky. She is amazing. For a while, I had re-upped my Creative Memories consultantship, but I just decided not to, and it woo! Wow, that came out of nowhere. Goodness, excuse me, I'm so sorry. And we're not redoing this, because this will be like the third time we got to do the voiceover, and that's not going to happen. Anyway, back to Creative Memories. This multi-purpose tool is probably one of my favorite Creative Memories tool. It's probably the most, I would say, underrated tool. So this is my favorite thing to use for rub-ons. I love it to push down brads. It's got like this little thin thing on the back. I mean, you could probably use that as a palette knife if you wanted to. Yeah, we might have to try that. Okay, so anyway, I love it. And I have my old one from way back when I was a consultant the first time, and it's amazing how much more blunt the tip is on this older one. I would say I've probably rubbed it down like 1/4 of an inch. So it was definitely time to get a new one. And I found Vicky, and she is my Creative Memories lady. So there we go. Now I've talked all about that and not even told you what I was doing on the page. So as you guys saw, I put vellum on the back of that film strip. I spelled out animation. I used an F and trimmed that down to make a T. Now I do have a second package of these gold thickers, but I'm really trying to use up the first one and use as many letters and things as I can before I open the second one. I grabbed my Nuvo Deluxe adhesive, my most favorite liquid adhesive ever. I'm going to go ahead and help this chipboard stay stuck down with that glue, because it needs a little bit of help. I am going to glue this little chipboard arrow thing right on top of the fringe, and it stays glued. Like once the glue dried, it's on there. It's not going to fall off, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. And then I feel like something has to go right here where next to the hello. I feel like there's this weird empty space there. Now these are some mirror embellishments from Pink Fresh, and they do have a a film on the top of them to kind of protect the mirror, I guess. I'm going to go ahead and place that bad boy down right on top there. And I really like the way that it fits there. And it's kind of a nod to Disney being home. If you are a Disney fan or you've seen Disney shirts, there's a lot of shirts that have like a picture of the castle and the word home underneath of it, because Disney feels like home to a lot of Disney fans. So I put that in there, and then I decided to add on a black rhinestone Mickey head and put him right in the center in that heart, and I just love it. That is one of the things that I just think is fantastic. And then I figure I needed to bring in a little bit more of sparkle and shine. Like there needed to be just something a little bit extra. So I have these XO things, which is really an X heart. And I figured that that would be great just to put at the top here of the photo, just to give it a little bit of extra sparkle. Not a whole lot. I'm not like going crazy, but just a little bit. So we go ahead and pull the film off of the top of that, and then add the adhesive to the back so that it stays stuck down. So I really love this page. It's definitely has a little bit of a different feel, color scheme wise, than what I normally do with Disney. Even though it feels the same, it feels very different. And I don't know how to describe that other than it feels like this is like an adult Disney page. It's weird. But that's how my mind is working. Just rubbing the glue off the mirror a little bit, and that's going to do it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button, ring that bell so you can get notifications of every video that I post. And remember, I am posting at least one video a day for a year, so that's a lot of videos. I will see you guys again real soon in another video.